All right, let's dive into this explainer and distill some absolutely timeless advice from Brian Tracy's The Great Big Book of Wisdom. Whether you're a seasoned executive or literally just starting out, the core mechanics of high performance, they rarely change. So we're going to unpack those mechanics right now, translating these massive concepts into a structured, highly visual guide that you can immediately apply to your everyday life.
Now, what's really fascinating about this book is how it actually works. It's not some long-winded narrative that takes hundreds of pages just to get to the point. Instead, it's this curated collection of standalone aphorisms, basically designed to deliver these concentrated bursts of wisdom. And for an educated audience, this format is incredible because it cuts straight through the fluff, right? But because it jumps from thought to thought so quickly, it can be a lot to process all at once. So we're going to go ahead and give it some clear structure.
Here is our ladder to professional success for today. 1. Foundations of lasting relationships. 2. Action-oriented leadership. 3. Navigating crisis and change. And 4. The power of priorities.
Let's start right off with Section 1, Foundations of Lasting Relationships, the ground floor of success.
So before you can effectively lead or manage anyone else, you have to know how to connect. And Tracy emphasizes a deeply human-centric approach here. Listening builds trust, period. Trust is literally the bedrock of any lasting relationship. The text advises us to treat the people in our lives as though they were the absolute most important people in the world. Why? Well, because to them, they are. The text also offers this brilliant secondary rule: always give without remembering and always receive without forgetting. It is a fundamental shift away from transactional networking toward building genuine, real relationships.
To support those external relationship skills, Tracy brings in this truly powerful thought from Ralph Waldo Emerson that absolutely stopped me in my tracks. He says that by recognizing we lie in the lap of an immense intelligence, one that contains literally all the ideas and knowledge that have ever existed, we can shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of absolute abundance. You don't actually have to generate every single brilliant idea completely on your own. You just have to be open, actively listening, and ready to tap into the intelligence that's already all around you.
Moving right along to Section 2, Action-Oriented Leadership, from internal thought to external action.
This really highlights a trap that so many professionals fall into, treating their team like a spreadsheet. But as Ross Perot famously states in the text, inventory can be managed, people must be led by example. You just cannot manage human beings like objects or numbers on a balance sheet. You absolutely have to demonstrate the exact behavior, the work ethic, and the integrity you wish to see in your team. Courage and truthfulness are the true marks of greatness here. As Tracy points out, the true leader always says, if it's to be, it's up to me. Now, to lead effectively by example, the text highlights what it calls the 3 C's of leadership: consideration, caring, and courtesy. In today's hyper-competitive business world, it's so easy to just dismiss these as soft skills, right? But Tracy's text asserts that these are the actual drivers of high-quality professional relationships. Being unfailingly polite to everyone, literally everyone, from the receptionist to the CEO, builds this massive reservoir of goodwill that a leader absolutely requires to succeed. High-performance people are completely dependent on these high-quality relationships.
However, being courteous absolutely does not mean being passive. True leaders demand the real facts. Not the apparent facts, not the assumed facts, and definitely not the hoped-for facts. The mandate is crystal clear here: lead, follow, or get out of the way. You have to face the world exactly as it is, not as you wish it were. Your ability to make good, decisive choices based on the cold, hard truth is going to determine your success just as much as any other factor.
Let's look at Section 3, Navigating Crisis and Change, the Shield of Adaptation.
Okay, the text is very, very clear on one thing. Crisis is inevitable. It's going to happen. The only thing that matters is how you deal with it when it actually arrives. To that end, Tracy insists we practice crisis anticipation. And look, this isn't about giving yourself anxiety. It's about preparation. It's the regular, systematic practice of looking at your projects, your career, or your business, asking yourself what could possibly go wrong, and then actively building your shield before the battle even starts.
Because that crisis will inevitably hit, you need the right tools to survive it. So here are the minimum requirements for success in a rapidly changing world. First, you have to maintain absolute flexibility. Second, you must practice continuous learning. And you know what really stood out to me here? The text notes that reading just 1 hour every single day in your field gives you the ultimate edge over your competition. That is absolutely huge. And third, you must constantly build your intellectual capital. Your mind and the skills you put into it are your most valuable factors of production. Because no matter what changes in the market, your intellectual capital, that is yours to keep forever.
And finally, we have Section 4, the power of priorities, your daily compass.
There is a profound truth here for both companies and individuals. The purpose of an organization is to maximize individual strengths and make weaknesses irrelevant. What you really should take away from this is the need to ruthlessly audit yourself. You have to identify what you are uniquely capable of contributing to your situation. Ask yourself, what are you particularly good at doing? Figure that out, and then concentrate all of your powers right there. Seriously, stop agonizing over making your weaknesses perfectly average and start making your strengths absolutely exceptional.
Which brings us to Tracy's law of the excluded alternative. And honestly, this is a stark reminder of opportunity cost. Every single time you say yes to one task, you are automatically, just by the laws of physics and time, saying no to another opportunity. Doing one thing always means not doing something else. You absolutely must set clear priorities on everything before you begin, otherwise you're just going to lose your day to all those excluded alternatives.
We all know about setting priorities, right? The things we need to put first. But I want to leave you with this final, truly provocative thought from the text. Setting priorities means you must also set posteriorities. Think about that. What are your posteriorities? What should you be doing less of? To maximize your strengths, lead by example, and build those lasting relationships, what are the habits, the tasks, or the distractions in your life that you need to completely abandon right now? Answer that, and you'll be well on your way to unlocking true, lasting success.